This is the WJTS News. I'm Bill Potter. In tonight's news, a Molotov cocktail leads to an arrest in Santa Claus. Popplewell is sentenced to 86 years for murder. We'll talk with Ferdinand Town manager Chris James, and Kurt Guxell looks at high school football from the weekend in sports. A lengthy investigation into numerous violent attempts to intimidate resulted in the Friday arrest of a Santa Claus man. Indiana State Police say at 5:30 a.m. Central Time Friday, the owner of a home located along the 300 block of South Melchior Drive west in Christmas Lake Village had left her home to take her husband to work, only to return to find a bottle in her front yard with a burning wick extending from the opening. Police say the homeowner immediately contacted Spencer County 911, who requested the assistance of the Indiana State Police and the ISP Emergency Ordnance Disposal Unit. State police troopers and members of the EOD unit responded to the residence to find that the bottle was an alcohol beverage bottle containing gasoline and a t-shirt that was lit afire, assembled as a Molotov cocktail. They say the device was not properly deployed and therefore only caused burn damage to the lawn. Through their investigation of the device, police learned that the Spencer County Sheriff's Department had been at the residence around 1 a.m. Friday morning. Deputies had responded to a complaint of an arrow being shot or being fired through a bedroom window. The trooper followed up on the early morning complaint, learning that both a male living at the residence as well as the male's girlfriend had received threatening text messages dating back to Labor Day and including Friday morning. Police found that the text messages had been sent by 21-year-old Eric Brown of Santa Claus. They learned that the vehicle Brown was known to drive matched the description of a vehicle that the homeowner on Melchior had seen driving away from her neighborhood prior to arriving home to find the Molotov cocktail. Just after noon Central Time on Friday, the police investigation led them to Brown's home in Santa Claus, where he gained permission to search the property. Troopers found an empty beer bottle on the ground with burnt residue on the bottle with a t-shirt lying next to it as a wick. They believed the t-shirt matched the one found earlier in the morning on Melchior Drive. Also, during the search of the residence and subsequently executed search warrant on Brown's passenger car, marijuana and drug paraphernalia were found. Troopers also found arrows that matched the exact type fired through the bedroom window early Friday morning. Brown was placed into custody without incident and taken to the Spencer County Jail, where he was booked on level 2 felony counts of possession, transporting, and placing a destructive device to kill, injure, or intimidate. Level 5 felony counts of possession, transporting and placing a destructive device, as well as intimidation with a deadly weapon. Level 6 felony counts of criminal recklessness and maintaining a common nuisance, and a Class B misdemeanor count of possession of marijuana. State police were assisted by the Santa Claus Police Department and the Spencer County Sheriff's Department. Sentencing was handed down Friday for a Ferdinand man who was charged with the January 2016 murder of a St. Henry man. Dubois County Circuit Court Judge Nathan Verkamp accepted a plea agreement on behalf of 26-year-old Kyle Popplewell of Ferdinand that was filed with the court back on August 9th. The Dubois County Sheriff's Department says Popplewell went to the St. Henry home of 37-year-old Jeffrey Perry during the early morning hours of January 10, 2016. Authorities say Popplewell killed Perry, who died of multiple stab wounds. They say Perry's girlfriend, who attempted to break up the confrontation, received a cut to her chest when Popplewell allegedly turned and swung at her. An 18-year-old woman Popplewell had briefly dated and who was also at the home was held hostage in a barricaded bedroom and sexually assaulted before Popplewell exited the bedroom and was subdued by police. Popplewell admitted in August to killing Perry, injuring Perry's girlfriend and confining the second woman. Verkamp Friday afternoon sentenced Popplewell to 65 years for Perry's murder, 6 years for the level 5 felony count of criminal confinement, and 15 years on the level 3 felony count of aggravated battery. Those sentences will run consecutively for a total sentence of 86 years at the Indiana Department of Corrections. The incident took place during a snowstorm, and in a release Friday, Dubois County Prosecuting Attorney Anthony Quinn thanked law enforcement along with the EMTs and first responders for the professional work under difficult weather conditions and the horrible circumstances found at the crime scene. Quinn says because of the work of those fine public servants, they were able to resolve the crime quickly and ultimately without the need of a jury trial. Quinn also thanked Perry's family and the other victims for their patience and understanding during what he called a difficult process. He says the prosecutor's office worked closely with the family of Jeff Perry and the 2 other surviving victims to reach an agreement that considered the victims' input and brought closure without enduring a horrific trial. A traffic stop along Interstate 69 in Pike County over the weekend resulted in the discovery of 5 pounds of marijuana and the subsequent arrest of a pair of Michigan residents. Indiana State Police say at around 1:45 Sunday morning, a trooper pulled over a passenger car driven by 40-year-old Robel Kidane of Lansing, Michigan, along I-69 near the Petersburg exit for having a defective license plate light. Police say when the trooper approached the vehicle, he detected an odor of burnt marijuana. During a search of the vehicle, police found a duffel bag in the trunk containing 5 packages of marijuana, each weighing 1 pound. Kidane and a passenger, 23-year-old Raquel Mowbray, also of Lansing, were arrested and taken to the Pike County Jail, where Kidane was booked for dealing marijuana, possession of marijuana, and maintaining a common nuisance. Mowbray was charged with dealing marijuana, possession of marijuana, and visiting a common nuisance. Both are currently being held on bond. No one was injured, but a wanted Lagodi man was taken into custody after a 2-vehicle accident at a Northside Jasper convenience store over the weekend. Jasper police say just after 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, a passenger car driven by 32-year-old William Burris of Lagodi was in the parking lot of the Northside Citgo along the 2700 block of Newton Street, preparing to exit south onto Newton. Meanwhile, a pickup driven by 55-year-old Matthew Wise of Corydon was southbound on Newton Street, just south of 28th Street. Police say Burris failed to see Wise's approaching pickup, pulled onto Newton Street into the path of Wise, who was unable to avoid Burris's car, and the 2 vehicles collided. Damage to Burris's car was estimated at $7,500, while police say damage to Wise's pickup was set at $3,500. Wise was ticketed for driving while a suspended infraction, as well as failure to yield the right of way. He was also placed under arrest for warrants out of Orange County. Officials with the town of Ferdinand say the Ferdinand Street Department is conducting its fall paving schedule this week, specifically on Virginia Street from West 8th to West 13th Streets. Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James talks about that paving later in this newscast in our Monday with the Manager segment, so stay tuned for that. Officials with the Jasper Water Department say, weather permitting, the department will begin its fall hydrant flushing and maintenance program this week. Beginning today, flushing will take place between the hours of 7:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, today through Friday. They say hydrant flushing will last for the next several weeks until all city hydrants have been cleared. Company officials say the water will be safe to drink, but customers should use their own discretion in doing laundry during this time because clothes may become discolored. Should anyone experience cloudy or colored water, they are asked to run the cold water tap until it clears. If you have any questions, please call the Jasper Municipal Water Department at 812-482-5252, 482-5252. And residents of Dubois County are reminded that the Dubois County Solid Waste District is holding a Twilight Tuesday event tomorrow for residents unable to use District Process Center services during the regular daily public hours. Twilight Tuesday will be held tomorrow from 4 until 6 p.m. Items normally accepted at the Process Center will be accepted during this time, with the exception being that the large item dumpster will not be open for use. Items accepted at the Process Center include electronics, TVs, small appliances, household hazardous waste materials, fluorescent bulbs, cooking oil, large metal items, large plastics, and tires. Information on acceptable items can be found at www.duboiscountyrecycles.org or by calling the district at 812-482-7865. Residents are responsible for unloading their own items and should bring a helper if unable to do so themselves. Twilight Tuesday is for Dubois County residents only. No businesses will be allowed, and residents are asked to reserve this event for those unable to come during the normal weekday public hours of 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All regular fees apply. Cards are not accepted. The District Process Center is located at 1103 South 350 West in Jasper. More details are available on their Facebook page. Now stay tuned Monday with the manager, Chris James of the town of Ferdinand. Weather, sports, and Inform are still to come on 18 WJTS.